It has been a pretty bleak day for the Scarlet Colossus. Looking back here is Carlos Sainz's F175, and just looking down at the back of the car, you can see the telltale sign that you don't want to see out the back of any racing car. That's hydraulic fluid leaking on the floor out the back of the Ferrari, and that was the reason for that car's retirement. But more concerning for Ferrari was the loss of Charles Leclerc's power unit. Now, Charles Leclerc's had power unit troubles already this season. You remember at the Spanish Grand Prix in Barcelona, he lost the power unit during the race. So he had to revert to his first power unit to compete in the previous race at Monaco and this race in Azerbaijan. Well, that unit failed in a spectacular fashion, and it leaves him none in the pool. So we'll have to take a new power unit going into the Canadian Grand Prix. But that leaves Ferrari with a little bit of trouble, because coming into the race here in Azerbaijan, Charles Leclerc took his third and final turbocharger. And that means they'll have to take off a turbocharger either from the broken Ferrari from this race or a turbocharger from the broken Ferrari from Spain and bolt it onto the new power unit to avoid getting a 10-place grid penalty in Canada next week. Now, if they can't manage to do that, that's a guaranteed 10-place grid penalty for Charles Leclerc. Unless he takes a whole new power unit, then he'll have to start from the pit lane. And this is a real problem for teams up and down the grid. The number of power units that cars are driving through the season, they're absolutely destroying their race pools. The limit of power units is quite tight. For a 22 race season, you're only allowed 3 combustion engines, 3 motor generator units kinetic, 3 motor generator units for heat, which is the turbo recovery one, 3 turbochargers, 2 batteries and 2 control electronics. Go over that limit and you start picking up penalties. You're only allowed 8 exhausts too, and we've seen Alpine burning through those at quite a rate as well. And that got them penalties last year, and I think they're going to see it again this year. But every single driver on the grid, I think, is going to take at least 1 grid drop penalty this season. And some drivers, like Charles Leclerc, may end up taking multiple grid penalties. And let's not forget, Fernando Alonso's already had a grid penalty this season already. He's got more to come. So really difficult times for Ferrari. The only glimmer of hope, and it is a new hope for Ferrari, is that unreliability is a reason that you're allowed to change homologated components. Now, every F1 manufacturer had to homologate their power unit at the start of this season, with the exception of a couple of components which were homologated before the Dutch Grand Prix. If you're having a lot of failures, and Ferrari clearly are, you are allowed to modify those components to get more reliability. And if you get more reliability, you can get a bit more performance. And that's the only silver lining on a very bleak Italian cloud today.